What's going on, everybody? Sir Taco's here. Welcome back to Talk About Transformers. We're going to be taking a look at the WFC Earthrise Voyager class Starscream figure, which is, as far as I've been made aware, a kind of remolded, upscaled version of the classics Seeker mold, which I never owned. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this guy. It's got a transparent nose cone there with some semblance of a cockpit inside. You can kind of see where the seat is there. If it would focus, there we go. There's your cockpit. It's got some just I think that's the clip actually where it clips in, but they kind of try to make it look like some monitors and whatnot. He's got red paint here like he's supposed to for his shoulder pylons. He's got the red and white stripe down the wing with the Decepticon logos on the wings there, kind of pointed out a little bit, but it's on both sides, so it makes me feel like it's on purpose. The red and white stripe up the tail fin, which I've seen on his animation model and the Masterpiece did not have for some reason. The 52 Starscream areas from the back, he's got kind of them flat engines like the F-22 has, as compared to the round ones he should have, so they could make feet out of them, which I think they still probably could have done with the correct engine shape. Here is his side profile. Why is this thing not automatically focusing? Side profile. Here he is from the bottom. You can see his chest and everything else under there. He's got his head, his chest, his arms, his legs. And here he is from the front profile. So you can see he's got a big old gap here for how the chest transforms. He's got his null rays on the sides. And here he is from the top. Just lots of panel lines and stuff. The wings on this version of the mold like to pop off pretty easy. And I found that it's not an issue with this peg so much as it's an issue with this doesn't want to actually stay in the peg hole, so it's close enough to the body that that peg can continue to have purchase, because I widen the peg and it still doesn't want to stay on there, so it's an issue of it not being able to go onto it far enough. We'll go ahead and remove a null ray and take a look at it. So there's your null ray. It's all gray plastic. It's got some nice little line work done up there in the front. It looks like a null ray from what I've seen. And that's about it. So we'll go ahead and put this back on him. And we'll get into some size comparisons, which we're going to have to zoom out for. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start getting him compared, and then we'll take a look at his transformation. There he is with the Rubik's Cube. There he is with the Gormagala statue. There he is with Bumblebee movie Bumblebee. There he is with the last review Soundwave. There he is with the next review Shockwave. And last but not least, there he is with the MP44 mold. Okay, starting off with the transformation. What I'm going to do is take both of these off. You can transform them, keeping them plugged into his legs all the way into robot mode, but I don't think anyone cares, so I'm not going to do it. We'll go ahead and rotate his wing down at this hinge here in the back, and then rotate. There's another hinge right here where that cut is. I'm going to rotate that up, so we'll go ahead and get his wings up and out of the way. We're going to flip up his crotch plate so we can unpeg his knees. Fold his legs down at the waist a little bit, so that way we have the room to shift them out, and close his knees back up, and we'll just shift them back. We'll go ahead and fold his tail fins up, and we'll go ahead and leave his feet alone for now. We'll come up to the chest, and there are little hooks here that are keeping this together, so we're going to fold it down. We're going to fold the arms out. Back here, there's this big old long piece of plastic that's kind of holding that in place. We're going to fold this out and down and fold it around, and then we'll go ahead and accordion it in, and then this piece again is going to plug in down in the waist, but we're going to close all of that up. It's going to fill in there and clip it back into place. Now there is a little groove and a slot here that you want to, or a tab that you want to make sure line up so the arms are in correctly. This one is not in the right spot. There. So the arms are lined up correctly. Go ahead and open its legs, split them, I should say. Then we'll angle the foot, rotate this wing forward, which is going to rotate his heel with it. Then angle it back and fold his toe up. Same thing on the other side. Angle, rotate, angle it back, put the foot down. Now he's standing. Go ahead and take his arms. I'll fold this down too. Take his arms. We're going to fold them up to the side. Try and get this. We'll get the wing folded out of the way. What you're going to want to do is open the front of the arm. Then pull the arm out. You're going to have to angle the bottom out. Pull it out and line it up. Then close it back up and fold the hand down. Same thing on the other side. Fold this wing back. Get a good look at this again. But I'm going to have to flip it. We're going to fold his forearm forward, the side with the hand attached to it. This one's going to be stiff. We'll rotate his arm around. Come on. Come on. I used his hand as a little bit of leverage, so we'll fold this up, angle his lower forearm down so we can move it around and clip it back in. Wow, that one's much stiffer than the other one. And there, you've got his arms done. His wings, you can leave them straight forward. They can fold all the way back. I just kind of, because they have a thuping spot for jet mode, I'll just fold them forward until they bump into that, and that's the angle I keep them at. We'll go ahead and pull his nose cone away. There's a little tab here that's going to clip in under where his head sits, and you just fold it along that groove and just rest it on his back. And there you've got Starscream in his robot mode. He's looking down. There you go, buddy. You can look forward if you want to. You don't have to be looked down here. You don't got to keep your head down here. We'll take his null rays, plug him into his shoulders. If you kept him in the legs, you just remove them from his legs and put them on his shoulders. His wings don't tab in, so I'm constantly probably going to be knocking them back. But there he is in his robot mode. So we'll take a quick look at him and take a look at his articulation. For starters, just getting a look up close at his head sculpt. He does not have a smirk, and that is disappointing. But his eyes are painted red. It's just so dark in there that my camera's barely picking it up. I wonder. There you go. There's his red eyes, his beautiful red eyes. He's got red paint going on the chest with the little engine thrusters picked out in gunmetal. You've got the real cockpit in there, and then you've got this sort of clasp going over it from the chest piece to give it the appropriate look. His waist is done in red, his lower arms are done in blue, and his upper arms are done in gray. You can see the details from the wings are coming through, and the Decepticon logos are upside down, as they should be. He's got gunmetal just here under his knees with some venting detail. You've got some blue paint here, more gunmetal on the tops of his feet. Coming around to the side, you've just got the fins sitting here unceremoniously on the side. No new paint introduced here. Then from the back, again, no new paint. You can see his knee joints are blue. The back of his legs look fine. His back looks fine up until you get to this glaring issue right here. And I think even though they went from an older figure to do this, I feel like they could have done something better with this. They could have made it like split open and fold up into what his backpack looks like or something, especially since they're just reusing old assets and slightly remolding them. I feel like this is pure laziness right here. And then you've got the red here for his shoulder bits. He's got ports on his wings, ports on his legs, ports on these fins, ports on his shoulders where the no-rays are plugged in, and ports in his hands. And for articulation, he's got a ball-jointed head, so he can look all the way around. He can look up, as you saw earlier, he can look down. His shoulder is on a universal, and it can't go full 360 because of the wings. Even if you fold the part that can fold, unless you fold his hand out, it's not going a full 360. It goes out 90 degrees. We'll move his no-ray forward so we can take a look at his bicep rotation, which goes 90 degrees. Elbow is about 90 degrees as well. The wrists don't rotate, but for transformation they do move up so he can break them. And that's about it for arm articulation. No waist articulation. The legs can barely move back at all due to this giant butt flap, and they can move forward if you move this crotch plate out of the way, but even then it's not even 90 degrees. And then they can move out a decent amount, but again, not 90 degrees. His knees came pegged on me. Stop it. Stop it. I'm trying to show off articulation. Well, every time I go to articulate his leg, it comes apart on me. But if you keep it together, he gets 90 degrees of knee bend. He has a swivel at the thigh that can go all the way around if you want it to. And then he's got an ankle tilt to that degree. So he's not the most posable. Some of that is the old engineering coming through. Some of that is them being lazy and not, using any kind of a budget, even though they're reusing a bunch of old assets. Just they took the design straight from an old figure. All they had to do was, basically add some greeble work and mold it, and they couldn't be bothered to improve it basically almost at all from what I've seen. But there he is. There's his robot mode. We'll go ahead and take a look at some size comparisons, and then we'll go into the final thoughts-ish section. So here he is. Get some size comparisons rolling in here. Alrighty guys, and there you go for your comparisons, starting out with the Rubik's Cube, your Gore Magala statue, Bumblebee, our last Voyager review, which was the Netflix Earth Mode Soundwave, and the next large review, which is going to be the Leader Class Shockwave from Siege. And that's pretty much it for Starscream there. He's alright. I don't hate him. I think I might like my core class version a little bit better, just because it's small, so it can get away with some of the stuff it gets away with. I definitely would say that it's a mixed bag for pretty much all of it. The jet mode is okay, but it's not perfect. The robot mode is okay, it's definitely not perfect. The transformation actually isn't that bad to me. All things considered, it's probably the best part about the figure is just the transformation. I think they could have done the heels more circular, so at least the top half of his engines looked right. I think they could have given him wrist articulation. I think they could have done something with the nose cone in the back. And I feel like they could have done something a little bit more with the fins on his legs. But other than that, he's not bad. He's Starscream. He looks like Starscream. He pairs well with the other guys, which we'll be showing off because Shockwave's next. And then Megatron from Siege is after that, and we'll show them all together. The big four guys all together. And that's pretty much it on this guy. He's meh. I don't got a lot to say. So go ahead and like the video. If you like the video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so YouTube can tell you when I've posted things. Go ahead and check out my War for Cybertron and other playlists linked in the description below. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, linked in the description below. I try to post on there a day or so before my videos come out. And go ahead and comment on the figure, your thoughts on it, your thoughts on the review in the comments section below. And with that, I'll see you next time.